Yo, yo, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Ray Nice 845 coming back at you with a Street Fighter 5 final tier list. To my knowledge, I don't think we're getting any more buffs or nerfs to any of the characters. So, with that being said, I think it's time to do a final tier list on where I think the characters are, how good I think certain characters are, how underrated I think certain characters are, things like that. So, we're gonna keep this short and sweet. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the Street Fighter 5 tier list. Also, like I said, this is meant to be taken with a little bit of a grain of salt. This is just my opinion, Um, so you guys are more than welcome to have your own opinions about it, or let me know what you think and stuff like that in the comments. All that good stuff. So, let's go ahead and get to this tier list. I tried to zoom in a little bit so it's like a little bigger for you guys. So hopefully you guys can see this pretty well. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's jump to the S rank characters. So I think it's very universally agreed upon that Luke is the best character in the game. He got some small nerfs, but those really didn't do anything. He is still pretty much the best character in the game. No argument there. So next we got well, I'll delve into a little bit more about Luke, but basically shits out massive damage, um, invincible anti-airs, great fireball, um, auto shimmies most of the cast because all his moves go forward. Um, gets great setups on both his throws, amazing corner pressure. Just character has no weak suits. That's why he's the best character. So uh, just go ahead to the next character. We got Dawson. All right, I got Dawson second. Uh, the character that I'm gonna have behind him could easily be swapped with Dawson. I think Dawson takes higher execution than the character I'm gonna put next. But I think it's also a higher reward when you play the character at the pinnacle of how good you can play this character. So I got Sim at second. High execution, high reward. Really good character. Um, really no weak suits. Really, really good character. Uh, let's see. Where is she? Alright, we got Poison next. Poison, another solid character. One of the best anti-airs in the game. Could play close up. 3-frame jab. Anti-fireball tools. Could play space. Could play at range. V-trigger damage is ridiculous. This character is just broken. Um, yeah, she's really, really good. Barely loses to anybody. Really, really good character. It's good, Chakotay. What's going on? So I think right here, this is kind of like universally agreed upon. You might see some people do this. I have it the other way around. But I think these three are universally agreed upon when it comes to being the top three. And I think 4 and 5 is kind of where people's opinions start to vary. Um, as of late, I've noticed a lot of people putting Cody here. Um, I just don't think he's a top 5 character. I think he's really, really good. He's been steadily getting buffed. Really good character, but I do think he still has some weak points in his game, which is why I can't put him here. But I do think he's around like a top 10 character. I just don't think he's 4 or 5. So we're gonna put him back down here for right now. Um, but who I do think is fourth is Rashid of the Turbulent Wind. Yes, I still have him in the top 5. A lot of people, I think, are being a little dramatic, dropping him down like to 8 and 9 because of his small nerfs. But in my opinion, he's another one of those characters whose nerfs really don't matter. He's really, really good still. Amazing buttons, super fast. Could be anywhere on the screen at any point in time if he chooses to be. Um, Two amazingly strong V skills. One's an anti-fireball tool. One lets him play Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and Street Fighter 5. He can jump all over the screen, cross up from full screen, be wherever he wants on the screen, throw off your anti-airs, get full punishes. Um, it's funny because people were kind of downplaying his V skill too, and I kept kind of upping it because it was like a time period where I just kept running into a shit ton of Rashids. And at Evo, we saw Gachikun switch to Rashid V skill too, and he put on a full clinic and showed people what that V skill really is capable of. And a lot of my friends kind of looked at me and turned to me and said, "You might have been right about that V skill too." And yeah, and it feels good to hear because that V skill is really broken. You just can't consistently anti-air him. You don't know if you should try to anti-air him because there's so many times where he'll the V skill. I don't know if you guys know what the V skill does, but I'll go into detail really quick. It lets him basically jump anywhere on the screen and then basically air dash in the air or like double jump in the air. So there'll be times where he'll jump up and then you'll in your brain you'll say okay, time to anti-air him. Then he'll back dash in midair and then come down and get a full punish on you because you whiffed the anti-air, which is just ridiculous. But yeah, Rashid is just really good. Amazing damage. Like I said, could cross it from anywhere on the screen, could jump anywhere on the screen. Uh, EX Eagle Spike is ridiculous. His DPs are good. His run is good. His frame traps, buttons, crush counters. This character is just absolutely ridiculous. And he has to be in my top. He has to be in top five in my opinion. He could even be up here, really, But I think since the simplicity of this character and how good she is, I'm gonna leave her here. But Rashid is really good, so I have him four. Okay, so five is really tough. It could be a toss up because there's so many good characters. Like in the final lifespan of the games, so many characters are good, and so many characters are like 1 inch, 1 millimeter behind each other in how good they are as characters. So I think this is really tough. But after me really sitting down, playing these matchups, watching these characters play, um, I have gone ahead and decided to put Guile there. I think Guile should be fifth. Guile has really another character. Another character with no holes in his game, really. Um, just a really solid character. Could play rush down, could play keep away. One of the best projectiles in the game. It's zero on block. Really good buttons, really good range. One of the best anti-airs in the game. Upside down kick is ridiculous. Just an all-around good character. No holes in his game. There's no matchup that really makes you deter away from picking him. So I have Guile there at five. Also, I don't think like between like five and like 10, like they don't really matter too much. So you could put them up here, you could put them down there. But I'll put like I'll put six characters in S and then I'll move on down to A. But again, meant to be taken with a little bit of a grain of salt. It doesn't really matter when the characters are that close. So um, behind Guile, I have Jury. Jury is really good. Her buttons are amazing. She really has no bad matchups. Um, One of the best overall buttons in the game, which is standing medium kick. Um, she could go around fireballs. You can't zone her. She has multiple anti-fireball tools. Um, she gives out pretty good damage. She has a pretty good fireball that she can walk behind. She's just a really good character. She got okay right here. I got a toss up between two characters. Um, let's see. I'm gonna have to go with Chun Li. Uh, really good character. Very simplistic to play. You can play her at a basic level and still get wins. Obviously, the more you learn about her, the more intricate of the combos, the better it is. The better you'll be with her. But even at a base level, she's very simplistic. Very good buttons. Stand heavy punch, stand heavy kick. They beat majority of the things in the game. So if you're trying to zone her, if you're trying to outrange her and poke her with a fireball, all she has to do is walk into that range and mash stand heavy kick. You will get crush countered, and then she will get massive damage on you. Um, both her V triggers are really good. Just a really good character. Her only downside I would say is her jump is very floaty, but at the same time her jumping heavy kick goes very far down. So if you press it early, you still can stuff out a lot of things, even though her jump is very floaty. Yeah, but that's basically her only weak suit is her jump is very floaty. Otherwise than that, godlike character. Um, if Cammy's health wasn't so low, I would still have her maybe even above Zeku, but it's just that her health is so low. But she's still really ridiculous. So I'm gonna have to put Cammy right here. Um, Only reason she's down so low is because her health is low. Otherwise than that, she's still the same old Cammy. Rush you down, mental stack you to death, throw Oki, go through fireballs if she needs to, dive kick, over and over again. Really good character. Like I said, her only downside is her health. Thank God they gave her that, because you only got to hit her a few times to beat her. Um, but otherwise than that, super solid character. ridiculous offense, arguably the best offense in the game. Um, so that's where I have Cammy. All right, who do we got next? Who do we got next? Cody out of S tier in top 10. Right. Yeah, it's an interesting take. I think people have him in the top five. Some people have him around 10. I've heard a lot of different opinions. I just think he has one or two little weak spots in his game, but I still think he's a very very strong character. And I also think that almost any character like outside of like after Guile Jury, you could be put they could be put anywhere at that point. So they're all really good characters. All right, so after Cammy, I think this is where, yeah, I think this is where we're gonna go ahead and put Cody. Now, like I said, Cody's really solid. He could be arguably put anywhere in here. I think, in my opinion, I think he could be put anywhere in here behind Jury, in my opinion. But some people have him in the top five. They have him wherever, which is understandable. Characters steadily be getting buffed. Not one, but two bar V triggers that are both really really good. Two V skills that are really really good. Um, Cody used to get abused by fireballs, which is no longer a thing because of V skill 2, which lets him sway fireballs and also acts as a combo extender. Um, really, really good, man. His knife V trigger is ridiculous. Plus frames, plus frames, plus frames. V trigger 2, ranged, and then he gets a command grab on top of that. Really, really good. His only weak suit, I think, is that his wake up options aren't the best. Um, and then his anti-airs aren't the best. That is the only reason I think Cody falls in here instead of up here. Um, if you if he tries to focus too much on the ground, like hey I want to play footsie base and spacing base, then if you time a random jump at him where it's really close to him, it's so hard for him to deal with it. And then if he wants to play back and prepare for the jump in so he can do his anti-air. I think it's standard heavy punch is his anti-air. He wants to do that. Then and when he does that, then that means you can now start playing footsie and start playing neutral and start playing your game because mental stack is a thing. We're not all robots, and it's very hard to focus on both aspects of that game. It's very hard to focus on anti-airing, 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 and playing footsie and neutral at the same time. You usually have to slack on one end or the other. That's the only reason I have that character put there. Otherwise than that, though, he's an amazing character, and the buffs really pushed him up, and he's really really solid. Um, really really good character. I think you don't really have to stray away from him for a matchup dependent thing to win. I think you have to alter his V skills and his V triggers based on your matchup, and then you can kind of still just play him no matter what. All right, so it's getting tougher and tougher as we move along. So many good characters left. Um, yeah, this is tough. This is tough. This is tough. All right, and this might be subject to change. I might put somebody up there and then look later and move somebody again. Things like that. But bear with me. That and Sim brutalizes them. Yeah, Sim is with Poison not that far behind. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whew. Sim and Poison, man, they just get away with so much, man, and they're just so. Uh. All right. So there's like three characters that I want to put in this spot, so they'll probably be right behind each other. It's hard to pick. Um, I'm looking at about four different characters to put in this next spot. I'm making it harder on myself because I want to order it, but it's hard to. Um, uh, mm, we're gonna put Cadine here for now. She did get some small nerfs, but she's still Cadine at the end of the day. She still gets to walk up, crouching medium kick all day. She has some decent anti-fireball tools. She still puts out massive damage. Her super seems to be one of the most damaging things in the game since like day one. Really, really good character still. don't know why my mic keeps dying when I'm charging it. It's kind of weird, but um, yeah, Kadeen is Kadeen. Still one of the most damaging supers. Uh, low medium kick, crouching medium kick, still really really good. Some anti-fireball tools, decent anti-air. She has an EXDP and then crouching fierce. She kind of suffers from the same thing as Cody though. She wants to oppress you with her buttons and walk up and do stuff. Um, but when she does that, she can't really focus on her anti-airs. Her anti-air isn't the best button in the game, and it moves her forward, so sometimes she just whiffs and goes under you. Um, so if she wants to, anti-air, she has to kind of move back, and then you can kind of start playing a little bit again. So that's she kind of suffers from the same issue as Cody. She does have an EXDP though, which is the difference. So she kind of could do that if she feels you're gonna jump. Um, and then one other small issue with her is she has a little bit of trouble dealing with close up fireball. So if you like walk out of her button range and throw your fireball, it's very hard for her to deal with it. Um, you just have to be aware of like how close she is to you because she can crush counter you or crouch medium kick you if you hesitate on throwing your fireball. But she's still really good. She might be subject to move later in this tier list, but that's where I have her for now. Um, all right, I have 3 characters left that I want to kind of put here. Um, it's tough. Balrog's really good. Colleen's really good. Laura's really good. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and go Balrog. Um, I don't really need to explain this character. 3 frame button, really really good. Overheads galore. Anti fireball tools, massive damage. Amazing pressure, godlike front throw. This character's just really good. He did get some slight nerfs, but he's still really good. And then if they would have made his dash punch not -4, maybe like -5, then it'd be a lot easier to beat this character. But since it's -4, it's totally dependent on how bad the player is for you to punish them. If the player is really good, they're going to space their dash punches. You're never going to be able to punish it. If the player's bad, they're going to misspace it. Then you're going to be able to punish it. But the best Balrogs don't misspace dash punch, and you're never able to punish it. So this character's just really tough to deal with, massive damage, and yeah. All right, this is tough here. I have 2 characters that I want to put here. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and put Ken here. Um, Ken is just really, really good. He got some nerfs, some buffs, but he got more buffs than he got nerfs. His buffs made him a little better. He's really good. Heavy DP is just really godlike now. It could punish a lot of things that he couldn't punish before, which is why he got so good now. Before he just had to hold so many things because his buttons were so stubby, and his buttons are still pretty stubby, but heavy DP goes really far, so it kind of makes up for it. So now the things that he couldn't punish with a button, he can punish with heavy DP, which gives him pressure from knocking you down. So this character is really, really good. I think Ken is the pinnacle. He's the perfect example of a character that is good, really, really good, without being broken, but also he's really, really good and he rewards you if you're playing really, really good. If you're playing clean, if you're DPing like you're supposed to be DPing, if you're playing footsie like you're supposed to be playing footsie, if you're punishing like you're supposed to be punishing, then you're gonna win the match. He doesn't really have any brain dead stuff, but as long as you know the matchups you're playing in and you know what you can and cannot punish, and you DP when your opponent jumps at you, then you're on the right path. You should be able to win. Has good damage, has good health, has good stun. Like I said, he just doesn't have any like Jury staying a medium kick, you know, Chun staying a heavy punch. He doesn't have things like that, but he's still a very solid character, and as long as you're doing what you have to be doing, you have a chance to win with him. If he didn't have so many bad matchups, he could probably potentially could be higher, but he happens to lose to the characters that are the best characters in the game. Which is what he suffered from before. He could deal with them more now, but he still gets blown up by the Sims, the Poisons, still has some trouble with Guile, those type of characters. Chun gives him trouble, those type of characters, and they happen to be better than him. So that's unfortunate, but he's still really, really good. I would definitely push for people to play him if they ask me, like, hey, do you think I could play Ken? You definitely can. He's a really good character. You just have to be on the lookout for certain other characters that are gonna be tough. I don't think you could win in a major with him without having a secondary, unfortunately. unless you're just playing amazingly godlike, or in the bracket, no one's playing like these characters. Um, I think even though he loses to Chun, you can still beat Chun. I think even though he slightly loses to Guile, you can still beat Guile. But these two characters in particular are the Dawson and the Poison are the one that's gonna give you trouble. So yeah, that's not really a broken thing though. That's a lot of characters have that. It's just that like Kadeen, Cammy, like a lot of characters have walk up crouch medium kick and to confirm something, but that's not really a broken tool. That's just you being godlike at buffering things and confirming everything. Because I'll tell you this for now, I'm pretty good at confirming, but I'm not godlike like that. But that's also why I'm not as good as Chris T or Cero Blast or those other players, because that shit's not easy. And in doing it on CFN is definitely not easy. But they're godlike and they don't drop it, so it's tough. Um, but like I said, he's the more broken he is basically just the better player you are. So the more you're godlike at confirming things, answering every little thing, then he's gonna elevate you. If you're not good at being perfect at on all those aspects of the game, then he's not gonna elevate you as much. You know what I mean? Like there's characters that are like you don't have to be that good of a player, but their simple tool set will elevate you to win matches because they're just very simplistic style and very very good at what they do. So we got Ken there. All right. The next character I'm gonna put up here is a character that I think is downplayed a little too much for my own liking. This character did receive some nerfs, but um, this character has massive damage still, shits on any type of fireball, has multiple command grabs, multiple anti-fireball tools, a great cross up, still one of the best anti-airs in the games, command grabs, um, and two really good triggers. I think this character is being massively downplayed. I do understand that he got nerfed. I do understand that, but he did not get nerfed into the ground the way people are portraying him, in my opinion. This character still has some of the best buttons. Crouch and jab, uh, stand medium kick, stand medium punch. This double axe handle button, I think it's forward heavy punch. This character's still really, 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 really good. Um, and he poops on he poops on. Eh, he could beat Cody though. You can't really throw fireballs with him. He poops on Ken. He poops on Ryu. He poops on Guile. Character, you cannot throw fireballs at this character at all. Literally at all. Um, if he's far away, he could throw the chain and get you. He could dolphin dive on you. He could bullhorn you or bullhead you. This character is really really slept on. And subject to change, I might move him a little further down, but I think this character is massively slept on. All right, let's go ahead and move next. All right, now I'm torn again because I have a couple different characters that I want to put. Um, mm, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go with Nikali. Ugh, it's hard, man. I know it's hard. This character is hard to decide on when it comes to people because you just don't see him enough. Um, but when you see him, he always seems to do damage to people. I don't know if it's an unfamiliarity thing. People just don't know the matchup or forgot about the matchup because people just don't pick him that much anymore. But all in all, he's been around since season one. Um, People know he exists. You just don't see him any much anymore. Most people don't even think he's a bad character. The people that played him and dropped him, literally dropped him due to saying he was a boring character. Not a bad character, a boring character. But when you see people like Psycho or even Punk pick him, they seem to destroy people. Punk literally almost beat Idom at CEO with this character. I wholeheartedly believe that if he would have picked him in the beginning instead of trying to play the Ken Poison matchup, he would have beat Idom, in my opinion. Um, Phenom, ridiculous. What was the other dude's name from Japan? I think he's from Japan, if I'm not mistaken. That played Nikali, and he was Machabo with the Machabo. When he came on the scene with Nikali, he was destroying people, bro. Monster. Every top eight, every event, destroying people. Character's very slept on. Ground pound to go around fireballs. Um, Disguidance to go through fireballs. Um, Ground pound, disguidance, has a DP, has a command grab. Um, really good character, man. Really good character. I think he's just underrepresented. I don't think people think he's bad. I think people just forget about him. That's what I think. Crush counter machine. Standing heavy kick is standing heavy kick is stupid. All right. Now I'm torn between two characters here. I'm gonna go ahead with the regular guy. Nah, I can't. It's tough because Ryu's good, but Akuma's also still pretty solid. I don't know who's better. I think Akuma's better when it comes to toolbox. I think Ryu's better just with more damage and a better fireball. So it's hard to say. Hard to say. You also got Falk, so that's just a little tough. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and go with Akuma. Akuma does have less health, but Demon Flip is just like massive. That is one of the biggest toolkit games moves in the game. He did get nerfed, like I said, but he's still really good. If he jumps, you don't know if Demon Flip's coming, you don't know if Air Fireball's coming, you don't know if Dive Kick's coming, you don't know if Slide Low's coming, you don't know if Command Grab is coming. Um, he's just his toolkit is just massive. He's just a really good character still. The only downside to him is his damage essentially. That's it. He takes a lot of damage. He takes a lot of stun, and that's rough. You gotta really be a really good defensive player, or you have to really be able to block things out and know when to V-reverse if you're going to play this character, because you do not want to be getting hit while you're playing Akuma, because he takes a lot of damage. But that's always been Akuma's Achilles heel, right? Takes damage, gives out a shit ton of damage, but takes a shit ton of damage, right? That's been him in every game. So um, yeah. But toolkit is massive and really good. Standing medium kick is still godlike. His Tatsu goes over fireballs. His CA is still one of the best single hit CAs in the game. He has Demon, so still a good character. Um, all right, now I'm gonna go ahead and go a regular guy. Um, I'm sorry, my headset keeps dying, guys. I don't know why it's doing this. I charged it too. I don't know why it's still doing that, but um, anyway, yeah, Ryu super solid. One of the best fireballs in the game. Um, some of the best neutral in the game, and he actually has one of the best buttons in my opinion in the game, which is Solar Plex. Solar Plex is amazingly stupid, bro. It's -2. You can't punish it. It's a forward advancing move, so he just does it in neutral, and people get hit by it all the time. If you block it, nothing happens to him. If he hits you, he's getting. If he wants to do maximum damage to you, or even just spend 1 meter, 1 bar, if you get hit by that, he's getting crouching medium kick into EX donkey kick into stand heavy kick into light donkey kick. That shit does so much damage, bro. That is it's so brain dead, and it does so much damage. It's ridiculous, bro. Um, they buffed his V triggers. His V people pick V trigger 2 now because it's a little more simplistic, easier brain dead damage. But V trigger 1 is massively underrated. It just enhances what his gameplay is. Um, and the stand light kick fireball set up in the corner is really good. If you block it, he's gonna space trap you. If you get hit by it, he's gonna get heavy DP in the corner. So it's really dumb. And like I said, Solar Plex is one of the best buttons in the game overall. He has DP obviously. He has a top suit that goes over fireballs. Yeah, he's really good. Super solid. Next we got Falk. She got some slight buffs. She's just solid character. No real, you know, things that blaring weaknesses. She has some weaknesses, but not blaring weaknesses. But she's just a solid character. Good range, obviously. She has a good fireball. She has a pretty good V trigger. I think both her V triggers are pretty good. Um, nice damage on her CA. She's just a good character overall. And then the dive bomb mix up is pretty much a pain in the butt if you're not ready for it. The stomp is plus frames. She's a solid character. Pretty good, pretty good. All right, let's see. Actually, I'm gonna put Blanca, and I'm gonna move Blanca up a little bit. Actually, I'm actually gonna put Blanca up here. If you guys want to know why I put Blanca so high up, one word. Um, the word is Wolfgang. Um, if you have any questions about how good you think Blanca is, I suggest you go watch Wolfgang. Go watch Wolfgang. Go talk to Wolfgang. Now, you might say, hey, he's maybe upplaying his character because that's his character. No, I've played Wolfgang is a good friend of mine. I've played countless sets with him against that character. This character is supremely slept on, and a lot of high-end players are just kind of downplaying Blanca. But I think that's because they just don't like the character. That character at the pinnacle of play is ridiculously good, super good, crazy mix up, crazy V trigger, anti-airs, um, baiting your anti-airs with rainbow balls, like great range. Like this character is just really really good, man, and he's being slept on a lot, and the character is really really good. It's funny, like I said, people downplay him, but ask anybody if they want to play against this character, and they're gonna tell you no, and there's a reason for that. This character is really really good. So I have to put him here. I've seen what he could do, and that character is super solid. All right, we're gonna go ahead and move down a spot now. We're gonna go to B. Um, I don't know if we'll need the C. We'll see though. We're gonna put Abigail here. Um, Actually, we're gonna put Fong here. Fong is diet and bison. Everything he presses is plus, but it's just not as devastating when you get hit by it. Um, he's like not that great, but he's not a character you want to run into because he just has a weird play style. So like he's very scary if you run into him in a tournament bracket because you don't know what they're going to be doing or how they're going to be playing with him. Um, but overall, he's okay. He's a pretty good character. Um, like I said, you just got to be if you just got to know some things about him to be able to beat him. But he's really hard to beat if you don't lab against him. Um, but he's okay. He gives out pretty good damage if you're poisoned. He has good range. You know, it's okay character. Then you got Abigail. Actually, I'm gonna put Abigail back again. I personally think Nash is better than Abigail. Um, Nash is okay. He gets downplayed a lot, but with his buffs, he's pretty okay. He can zone pretty well. He has some pretty good range. Uh, he's okay. Not the best character, not the worst character. I'm gonna go ahead with Abigail. He's a big ass target, man. That's what sucks about him. He's just so damn big. You can just jump in on him for free sometimes, and just pressure him for free because he's such a big ass fucking target. Um, but you know you gotta be wary of him. He does have some good range. Catching light punches is really good. Standing light punches is really good. If you don't want to get hit by him, he shits out massive damage, obviously. His triggers are pretty good. Um, but he's just big and slow, so it's kind of tough. I'm happy he's here because when he first came out, that character was ridiculous. And he's pretty easy to zone too. You gotta watch out for his armor, essentially. Let's see. Mm, Gonna go ahead with put a Buki. Yeah, we're gonna put a Buki. Buki's solid. She got some buffs. She's pretty good. She has some weaknesses, but she's okay. And then again, like I said, no one in this game is bad. So even when you're looking at the characters down here, don't assume they're bad. They're not bad. They're just lower. Um, but you know, it is what it is. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and put Sakura. A pretty okay character. Let's see. Mika, Honda, Gil. Heroes, yeah. Eh, Alright, yeah. I think we're gonna rock with that. We can go ahead and remove this. Oops. We are finally done with my Street Fighter V final season, end of the lifespan of the game tier list. Let's go over it real quick. We got Luke, Sim, Poison, Rashid, Guile, Jury. Got those top six characters. We're gonna jump down one tier to A, even though it's technically not really a tier down. These characters are all really good. We got Zeku, Bison, Chun, Cammy, Cody, Kadeen, Ed, Balrog, Ken, Colleen, G, Urian, Blanca, Lara, Birdie, Nikali, Akuma, Seth, Ryu, Oro, Falk, Rose, Alex, Kage, Vega, and Manat. Fong, Nash, Abigail, Ibuki, Sakura, Akira, Mika, E Honda, Gil, Lucia, Dan, Sagat, Geef. Now, like I said, I don't think anybody in this game is bad. Anybody could win. Everybody has some matchups that are in their favor. Things like Gusto, UFO. Thanks for the raid, bro. I appreciate it, man. Hope your stream was okay, man. Everybody from Gusto's stream, welcome. You're coming in at the end, but I'm just finishing up a tier list for Street Fighter V. How I view the end of the lifespan of the game, where each character is. Um, but yeah, man, that's my tier list, man. Um, this is gonna be going on YouTube a little later, so if you're viewing this on YouTube, go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section below. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and sub. It's free, guys. It's free. So go ahead and sub. So like, comment. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Subscribe to me if you haven't subscribed already. Um, yeah, and let me know what you guys think, man. I appreciate you guys tuning in, of course. Um,